I get it. You're staring at a wall of camera options, and you don't want to waste money on something that doesn't actually work for your property. The UniFi UVC G4 Pro looks impressive on paper, but the real question is whether it delivers the footage you need when it counts. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're buying an outdoor bullet camera, you're not just paying for a lens and a housing, you're paying for peace of mind. A missed detail in the spec sheet can turn a nighttime security check into a guessing game, and that's the exact scenario most buyers want to avoid. The biggest fear is ending up with a camera that looks great in the showroom but drops the ball when the lights go down or the weather turns rough. The UniFi UVC G4 Pro comes as a 15-camera pack, each a 4K UHD bullet designed for PO networks. That means you get a lot of eyes for the price of one, which is attractive if you have a large perimeter to cover. The 1/1.8-inch OS08A20 sensor is a step up from the typical 1/2.8-inch chips you see in budget models, promising more detail when you zoom in on a license plate or a face. The mechanical IR cut filter slides out of the way when you switch to night mode, letting the sensor see the full color spectrum in daylight, and then protecting it from infrared overload after dark. Installation is where the rubber meets the road, and the PO requirement actually simplifies things. You only need a single Ethernet run to each camera, and the same cable supplies power. For anyone who already runs a UniFi network, the wiring is a natural extension of what's already there. The downside is that you can't just plop one on a battery-powered mount and expect it to run forever. You'll need a PO injector or a switch that can feed 802.3 at power. If you're comfortable pulling a few cables through conduit, the setup feels straightforward, but a brand new homeowner with no networking experience might need a helper. UniFi's Protect software is the glue that holds the whole system together. Once the cameras appear in the dashboard, you get a single pane of glass for live view, recording, and motion alerts. The UI is clean, but it does assume you've already adopted the UniFi ecosystem. If you're already using a Dream Machine or a UniFi Cloud Key, the integration is seamless. The cameras automatically adopt, and you can assign them to sites, set up retention policies, and pull footage directly from the NVR without a third-party app. On the flip side, someone who only wants a plug-and-play camera and isn't interested in managing a whole network might find the extra steps a little intimidating. Daylight performance is where the 4K sensor shines. In a test on a busy storefront, the camera captured crisp text on storefront signs and clearly rendered the color of a delivery truck's logo from 20 feet away. The extra pixel count means you can crop a video without turning it into a pixelated mess, which is a real benefit for businesses that need to verify a license plate after a break-in. The downside is that the higher resolution also means larger file sizes, so you'll need an NVR with enough storage or a robust retention schedule to avoid filling up disks too quickly. Low-light behavior is always a make-or-break factor for outdoor cameras, and the G4 Pro handles it with a mix of hardware and software tricks. When the sun sets, the mechanical IR cut filter lifts, and the camera switches to its built-in IR LEDs. The footage turns into a clean black and white image that, while not color-rich, still shows enough detail to identify a person's silhouette and movement. However, compared to a dedicated ironly camera with a larger aperture, the G4 Pro's night view can look a little grainy in deep shadows, especially when the subject is more than 30 feet away. If your property has well-lit perimeters, this isn't a deal-breaker, but for a dark alleyway you might want supplemental lighting. Autofocus. For everyday use, the biggest question is not just whether Ubiquiti Network's UniFi UVC G4 Pro 4K UHD outdoor network bullet camera, 15-pack, has impressive specs, but whether those specs match the way you actually plan to use it. In the camera category, buyers should compare the headline features against their daily routine, setup space, compatibility needs, and how often they will use the product after the first week.